and welcome to Basic Business. Today we're going to be learning how to make a super simple and easy business spreadsheet using this fake example, the Blissfully Sweet Bakery. So we've got that title up top and then a couple of the options that they've made right over here, as well as their crossover in blue right next to them. Right up next to the name, we've got our tax rate for the area that this place resides in, and then we've got our week 1 sales and our week 2 sales, and now we're going to fill in our week 3. To start, we're going to go ahead and color this top section where I've put the date, and we're going to make it just slightly darker than week 2, just kind of following that pattern. So this is week 2, so we're going to go one down and we're going to make it week 3 up using this paint can here and just selecting all the little cubes that the date sets in. So now it'll be color coded when we get down to here. Now we're going to go ahead and start with our raw sales. You can see we've already got our units sold all put in, and we had to go ahead and do those by hand ourselves. But we're going to go ahead and let the computer calculate the rest for us. So to calculate raw sales, we're going to hit that equal sign. This is going to be crucial in all of our formulas. So we'll hit that equal sign, and we'll be using our multiplication with our asterisk here. So we'll hit our cell 1, and then we'll put the asterisk as the multiplication sign, and then cell 2. So we're going to go ahead and click our units sold, put in that asterisk sign, and multiply that by our cost. Hit enter, and suddenly we have $525. Now instead of typing that in all the way down, we're going to go ahead and click this little arrow in the bottom. So we have this thin plus, drag it all the way down, and now we have our totals all the way down through it. So that's just our raw sales. Moving on over to taxes, this will be essentially the same thing. So we're just going to do the same multiplication, select that first cell, put in that asterisk, and we'll be using G1 up here, but instead of just going ahead and clicking it, we are going to be putting in the $ G and then $1 and hitting enter, and that's going to give our tax rate. Now we do the $ so we would drag all the way down. We have the correct numbers. So we're going to go ahead and toggle into toggle. You're going to do control and the backwards accent so you can see our equations here. Now over under raw sales, you can see B4, B5, B6, and N4, N5, and 6. But on this side, you have O4, O5, O6, and G1, G1, G1. So that $ locks it in and keeps it through all of your equations. Now, moving right along to sales tax, we're going to start with that equals. Even easier than that over here, we're just going to click our raw sales plus our taxes, and that's going to give our sales after tax, so total amount of money that we've made. We're going to go ahead and go back, and then we're just going to go ahead and fill all the way through that pink section just like that, and now we have our totals all over here. Now going back to our equations, you can see we've added up a couple of sums down here. So we have the total number of units, our total raw sales, our total taxes. So we're going to go ahead and apply that right over here to our sales after tax. So this is going to be a function now. And we're going to go ahead and type SUM for sum. And you can see the program is already telling me what to do. But we're going to go ahead and go all the way down, just highlight that whole area. So it'll be Q4 colon Q13, and that colon is going to make sure that we have everything in between, whereas the comma will just do Q4 and Q13. We want that colon there, and dragging and highlighting all of them will go ahead and do that for you. We put the close parenthesis, hit enter, and it'll give us our total right there, right? That's super, super easy. Now, way over here, the averages, we'll go ahead and do this one. So you can see a couple have already been done. Going back to that, you see average, average, average. We're going to do the same thing here. Starting again with that equals, we'll put an average and then open parentheses. And this is where we're going to do a couple of things. So we're actually just going to do the units sold. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is where we use our commas, and then we'll highlight our second units and then our third units, all with those commas in between. And that's going to give us our lovely average. Now moving on down to our lowest units in total, you can see we've already done lowest, so we're going to go ahead and do highest units in total. So we're going to go equals, and because highest is your maximum, we're going to type in max, and that'll be the function with that open parenthesis. And we're going to go and highlight all of our units, so it's got all of D4 through D14. Put in that comma, because we also want to highlight all of week 2. Put in that comma and highlight all of week 3 in close parenthesis, and it's going to calculate it and tell you what the biggest amount of an individual category is. So 296, so you can look over here, 296, and you sold 296 donuts, and that was your biggest seller over 3 weeks. Now for the lowest units per week, we're going to go ahead and put in equals min. So similar how to max is your highest, minimum is going to be your lowest. And then we're gonna go ahead and just highlight the rest of over here because we're just doing week 3 for that one. And it's gonna tell us that our lowest selling piece was the 6, which was our 1-tier cake over here. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same for our per week with the maximum. Gonna highlight those same units, put that parentheses, and you can see our biggest seller over here was 231 donuts singular. So it seems like donuts are really, really popular at this bakery. And then we'll go ahead and fill these in, again using this paint can up here, just with the same kind of gray that we put and highlighted in the date, just so that it's a little bit more uniform and a little bit more cohesive. And then the last thing, super quickly, we're gonna put in a pie chart. Super cute, super easy, super fun, just like the rest we see here. We're gonna go ahead and do our units sold for week 1 here. So we're gonna go ahead and highlight starting at our categories over here. So we want these categories down here. We want the computer to do that for us. We're gonna highlight all the way through to our units sold. We're gonna go up to insert in the menu bar at the top and then click this little pie chart circle here, and it's gonna put in a pie chart for us. Now we're gonna go ahead and just line this up with the others and have it settled in just like that. And we're gonna double click on it so we get this automatic kind of information to edit over here. We're gonna start over in the data category and we're going by columns, which is what we want. But down here in slice values, we don't actually wanna look at this cost or just the blank row that we have in between. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete both the cost and the blank row, and now it'll tell us our units sold, and that's what the pie chart is gonna go ahead and calculate for us, which is super helpful. Under chart title, I'm gonna go ahead and just put in a dash week 1, just so that we can tell the difference and make sure everything's in line all through. And now we can see this. So when we click on this again, we can go under series sold, and then under our data labels, we can turn that on and it'll tell us each of the slices and how much each one is, or we can have it off and just kind of see how much it looks like and just align the colors and be like, okay, this is our biggest and this is our smallest. And that there is just a super simple, super fast and easy business spreadsheet. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.